Okay guys, what I'm going to do now is just give a little introduction to the War Room and myself. And I'm sure most of you know my name is Kent, and this is where I do scale modeling. I'm certainly by no means a professional. I just love history, I love World War II, and I just like building scale models. It's fun, and I specialize. Or when I say specialize, I specifically do World War II, and I tend to concentrate a bit on the German side of things. So if in the background you might see a swastika or two, you might see SS runes, you might see a death's head, a Totenkopf. So if these things are those symbols or signs are not to your liking, then I suggest don't watch the video. It's all part of history. It's I have numerous books as we go along on this channel. I'll show you, and yeah, and then also what we need to be wary of in the war room are these fur agents, operatives. They're lurking in the background. You might see one, you might not see one. If we get disrupted, you just got to bear with me while we deal with the intrusion, as these insurgents can they can strike at any time. So, as some of you followed my Facebook group, also called Kent's War Room, you will notice they can appear at any time. So, we will continue. As I said, this is an introduction. I started this journey probably. Must have been when I was about 14 years old, got interested. History was always something that I enjoyed. Probably the only thing I ever did well at school, but anyway, that's be as it may. And so, one thing though, what history does teach us is that, especially during the World War II, many inventions came out of World War II. For one, nylon was invented. Interesting story. So, as we go along, and I'm going to show certain things that I do, and by the way, obviously I'm in South Africa, as many of you know, and being in South Africa, especially through the 80s and the early 90s, we as scale modelers had to make do with what we had as far as building diorama. Now, a diorama, as you well know, is a little scene that you put the model on, or figure, etc., etc. So it was a bit awkward, or difficult, should I say, to get certain accessories, and especially in the so-called woodland scenics, which is just one where they make trees, brick walls, and you can buy them as kits, and you can build them up. Now, these things were available back then, but they were difficult to get into South Africa, largely in part due to sanctions. Not to get political, but largely in part due to sanctions. And secondly, they were expensive. And even now in the 2000s, they're still expensive. They're easier to get now, much easier. The ordering online, and if you're ordering from a good website, it can take 2 weeks, and it can get you. And you've got a couple of guys in South Africa who are agents, and they're pretty good. So I would rather save up my little pennies and buy a kit every now and again. And as far as the accessories like the walls and grasses and trees, etc., those you try and make do with what you've got, household items, anything. So over the years, you'll see. Oh, and yeah, we've got an agent. There's one agent, as you can see already. Okay, sorry, we've got an insurgent. Insurgent alert. So, guys, I just need to keep tabs on what he's going to be doing. And as you can hear, we've got ZZ Top playing in the background. But that, you see, he's trying to get in there. Look at that. There's definitely something going on there. There's an insurgent. So you need to be aware of that. Just watch how they operate. They're very sneaky. Hey, Grey Ghost, what are you doing? You see, now look. Here we go, guys. Here we go. This is it. So we might have to just interrupt this intro, but I'll continue as I possibly. But I've got to be wary. I've got to keep one eye behind me. So just bear with me. Okay. So where was I? So now over the years, and I collected my Humbrol paints, as you can see, those of them there in the tins, and that's on my shelf over there. And many of you might think, wow, it looks like organized chaos on this desk, but it is. It is chaos, but it's organized. I know exactly where everything is, and this is my workstation. So the paints, I use Humbrol. I like working with enamel. I've collected them over the years, and all the bits and pieces I've collected. Whenever I go in life and I walk around, I always pick up things and things that I think I could use. So after the introduction video, one of the first videos I'm going to make, a little that I started, and a lot of you guys following the Facebook page will see that I attempted to make my own bricks. Now you can buy a mold, or you can actually make a mold. You can actually buy a mold. I think it's about £15 for the mold. It's a silicon mold, and it makes about 30 bricks at a time. But not easy to get the mold, and once you've paid postage, etc., 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 £15, I think the exchange rate is times 19, so you can work that out, and then plus postage, getting it here, then you're looking at 200-300 rand. So for me, that's a little bit above my pay grade, or what I'm prepared to pay. Rather keep that money for a kit. So my first video on how I use my different accessories, or make different accessories, we're gonna be making some bricks. And through the Facebook group, there were quite a few of you suggested using bonding liquid, because my first attempt was a little bit brittle. Anyway, this is supposed to be an introduction, but anyway, that's just a bit of a sidetrack. And as you can see, the silver ghost is still there. He's probably seeing what he's going to do next, but anyway, we won't worry too much with him. We'll just keep one way. Oh, there he's going. No, he's going. Oh, he's behind me. Okay, so we'll keep an wary eye on him. So yes, so over the years, as our house has moved on, and as the boys got bigger, my modelling station was in the garage, my workroom, and then it moved from the one garage to the next. And the garage was fine, but it was always outside. And then I was very blessed, well, in a sad way, and also for me, I was able to move inside, which is where I am now in the house. And this is really where my modelling has taken off in the last year. So, okay. So folks, not to bore you, but that's just a little bit of background. So I hope you enjoyed the introduction, and I'm not quite sure where the grey ghost is. Let's just, he's around. Oh, he's disappeared. Okay, we'll keep one wary eye. So this is basically the war room, as you can see it. This is the workstation. That's the red desk where I keep a whole lot of my stuff in. As you can see, I collect. And if we go over here, that's my TV. I normally play Euro News on there. I've got a bit of ZZ Top playing at the moment. This is my working stash, as I call it. Got a couple of others hidden away. And then if we move over here to this side, this is where got a couple of the diodes kept. Okay, so these are the finished ones. Some of you have seen them, some of you haven't. These are a few of my reference books that I've kept, that I've got. And then I've got over here, I've got a whole lot more of all my reference books here, as you can see. And from time to time I've paid through these, and I've collected these over the years. Anyway, folks, so that's where we are, and that's the introduction video. So please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Cheers.